hoes. Welcome back for another episode of Hoeology Podcast. This is your host, Destiny. Today's Hoeology lesson is going to be all about that forbidden fruit, we can call it. We're going to start with our tweet of the week, of course, and get into our episode. The tweet of the week reads, does ovulation become more aggressive the older you get? Because the things that I'm feeling right now are not of God. Any woman that's listening to this podcast, I'm sure you can relate to the unholy things that come over your body when you're ovulating. It's literally like you're no longer in control of your vagina, your ovaries, your thoughts, nothing. Like either you're hot and horny or you're irritable and angry, but there's often no in between when you're ovulating. Which leads me to the question of, y'all be fucking on your periods? Let's talk about it. Period sex is such a taboo topic. I mean, periods really are like the forbidden fruit. On one hand, I don't want to be touched when I'm on my period, but on the other hand, I don't mind. As someone who has had sex on her period, I find that most men honestly don't care. It's definitely up to the woman's discretion, but I definitely understand being uncomfortable and being grossed out. Like, bro, something is literally coming out of me. How is your dick hard right now? Like, how is this even possible that you find me still sexy when I am literally leaking? Literally leaking. Period sex is one of those things where I'm torn because I'm like, we're already being punished for not being pregnant and, fruitful. Speaking of fruit, bitch, you didn't have to eat the apple, but I digress. Do we also have to be punished for being horny? I think not. Moving it back to ovulation, which seems to be when we are at our peak horniest and peak uncontrolled horniest hours. Did you guys know ovulation is actually the most dangerous time to have unprotected sex because that's when you're most fertile? And according to youfertility.org, sperm can only live for 5 days, and eggs have a 24-hour window to be fertilized after being released from the ovary. So during that time of ovulation, let's say you do have unprotected sex and you're really ready to risk it all and just let him nut in you, you're definitely gonna get pregnant, sis. Like, sorry. I think that, like I said, I'm on the fence about period sex. Again, I have done it. I don't mind it really. I prefer not to because just how gross I feel, but at the same time, it do be feeling good. It do. Sorry. If you're grossed out, skip to a different episode. But if you're not grossed out and you're curious about what your options are and about how to have the best mess-free experience when it comes to period sex, keep listening, my darlings. Hey hoes, just popping in from our Hoeology lesson of the day. I wanted to know if you guys have ever thought about starting your own podcast. If you have, check out Anchor. It's a free tool that allows you to record, edit, and distribute your podcast to all platforms. You can even make money from it. Anchor is available in the App Store, so download it today and let me know how it goes. Let's get back to the episode. As with most, new experiences regarding sex, I say do your research, see what works for you, see what doesn't work for you, talk to your partner. Period sex should not be a deal breaker. Like I mentioned, most men don't even care if you're on your period, but you care, and that's what matters to you. So you want to be comfortable if you decide that you're going to have period sex. I have 4 foolproof options for you that I have used all of them. All of them. So I'm speaking from experience here. But let's go ahead and get into it. 99.9% of people that engage in period sex, even people that don't have period sex, we all know about the towel. You get like a designated towel that you can use, and I would definitely say to make sure it is a reddish or dark color. You don't want a white towel when you're menstruating because, yeah. Of course, towels range from like $5 to $7, but I would recommend once you select the towel that you're going to use, that you keep that towel separated from, the rest of the towels that might be in your linen closet. Maybe keep it at the top of your closet. Or you can put it in that special secret freak nasty chest that you have under your bed. Let's say you want to upgrade from a towel. There are waterproof blankets. My boyfriend and I actually invested in one. Well, he invested in one for me because I learned how to squirt recently and it has been nonstop. And that helps with the constant washing and drying of sheets and things. So I would definitely suggest a waterproof blanket. They are machine washable. I feel like a dumbass because I was like, well, if it's waterproof, how are you going to wash it? Girl, a girl, a girl. So they are definitely machine washable and they're actually like $40 on Amazon. You can also get them in Walmart and or wherever you shop. I actually follow this guy on TikTok who has a waterproof blanket. He's got mirrors on his ceilings, like a whole female like just cleansing station in his bathroom, like super cool. So if you're a guy, definitely get that waterproof blanket, if not for period sex, for the sake of squirting. Our third resource is going to be free 99 because it's your shower. When you get in the shower, I don't know what kind of voodoo magic our bodies decide to do, but I tend to stop bleeding. And I don't even just mean like dripping blood. I mean like I've had shower sex on my period and there's been no blood on his dick at all. But take that with a grain of salt. I know everybody's body is different. What works for me may not work for you at all. But the best part about shower sex is, first of all, the mess is cleaning itself up in the water, and you can immediately shower right then and there afterwards, and you're clean. So I definitely recommend the shower for a mess-free period sex experience. My final resource slash tip is going to be a little unorthodox, let's say. I learned this trick from an escort. I really wanted to have period sex without the mess and without all these other things that could potentially, just be a lot of work. Which is ironic considering what I'm about to tell you guys. And I cannot believe that I'm going to admit this, but I know I'm not the only person in the world that has done it, so I feel a lot better. The fourth tip is a sea sponge. I don't mean a makeup sponge. I don't mean like the sponge that you clean your dishes with. I mean a 100% natural sea sponge. They look a little bit different. I will post a picture on the Hoeology Instagram page and you'll know. Personally, I get my sea sponges at Bed Bath & Beyond. They are like $17, but on Amazon they're $12. They are expensive, but they're big and you really can cut them in half and use it like that. So how the sea sponge works is you boil it, cut it to like I said, in half, and you basically insert it like a tampon. It's very soft, very like absorbent and squishy. You can leave them in, and I'm not a doctor, so I'm not telling you to do this, but I'm telling you what I have done several times, never gotten an infection. I've never had any reactions or any issues like getting it back out. Anyway, insert it like a tampon, leave it there. You don't bleed when you're having sex. There's no blood. Like even if his dick is pushing up against the sponge, nothing is like leaking out. You pull it out, it's absorbed literally everything, and that's pretty much it. They can't feel it when they're having sex with you, like at all. It is literally like nothing is there. Sea sponges have been used by other cultures as like a tampon almost. And then when you're done, you literally reach up and pull it right out. It slides out super easy. And once you're done with it, you can throw it away. The only reason I say to boil it is because it is literally a natural product. And you don't know what kind of things have been in there or floating around or whatever. But again, I've never had any issues personally, and I do know of lots of people that use the sea sponge method. The only issue I would say is some people are like, oh, I don't have a sea sponge. I'm just going to use a makeup sponge. Totally different type of sponge. Do not do that. Those usually have a ton of chemicals and are artificially made, obviously, versus sea sponges are found actually in the ocean. So do with that information what you will, but I will say that for all of my sexually frustrated mamacitas or papacitos, whatever, I think that if you're interested in having period sex, there are options out there for you to have mess-free, safe period sex. And I'm happy that I could be a source and provide that information for you. Check out the Hoeology Instagram, which shows an infographic I made that goes along with this episode. As always, happy hoeing!